Welcome to episode 197 of the DorkLair Collecting Podcast. It is Thursday, September 29th, 2022, and we are just about to enter. I mean, we have entered fall, right? Like seasonally, we're
Yeah,
into
officially.
fall, about to hit October. Yeah, so we're kind of like getting into that spooky season for sure right now. What's going on, Chris?
Oh, nothing much. Yeah, I know. We've been talking about decorating the house for Halloween, and I'm like, it's far away. But I'm like, oh, no, it's really not. It's right here.
I know it just goes by so fast.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Any recent
crazy.
pickups for you?
Um, I did get finally, like last week, I got my Alithia order. The only thing I really cracked into was Afarius, the centaur guy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It's a pretty cool figure. I like it. It had this really thick wire holding the body in. Um, it even made an impression. But I saw some people say if you heat it up and you just kind of like
Right.
massage it, it comes
Yeah.
out. So I was glad to do that. But it was so I was just like this wire. It was like hurting my fingers undoing the twirl of the wire. I'm
Right.
like, oh, this is a little heavy duty, but
Which is funny because so I was actually just thinking about um the capes and stuff, and it'd be nice if they have like little bit like thicker wire in the capes. So you
mhm.
just use that one.
Yeah, that stuff is crazy. The other thing I got the 3011 figure from Stranger Things. That was one I know I pre-ordered a long time ago and it finally came in. But yeah, pretty decent figure.
Nice.
How about you?
So for me, my big one is I think tomorrow. So it's crazy when I get shipments from Underground Figures, like I get notified today. It's like,
Yeah,
here's your invoice, pay for your shipping for your figure, and then it's like in my hands tomorrow, and like that's what's
nice,
happening with my Dark Trooper, because Underground is so close to me, it just takes like less than 24 hours to get my Hot Toys. But yeah,
awesome.
so I should be getting my Dark Trooper tomorrow. I did get the Masters of the Universe, the Masterverse 2 pack, the SDCC 2 pack. I got
Oh
that
yeah,
one.
yeah,
I love it. It's so nice. It
that's
was
awesome.
expensive, it kind of feels a little overpriced, but I guess you're paying for like the packaging and the exclusive and all that stuff. But
Mm.
I got that in. I got this right here. So let me actually. Can I go? Can I do this? Is that gonna work? No, hold on. let me go to solo. So I got this here. This is the Billy, sort of hillbilly
Nice.
head sculpt from Wolf King Customs, sculpted by Emma Wickman, and this one was painted. So there's actually like a batch of this painted by
hmm
Curtis Ackerman, who's usually with us in this. So he'll probably pop in here sometime tonight. He did like a phenomenal job. Just looks so damn good. But it's like
Yeah,
a
it looks
mullet.
really
It's like a
fun.
goblin with a mullet.
Yeah.
It's pretty sweet. I love it, and you can just pop it on any goblin, and it looks awesome. It's on a Thwick over here.
Nice.
And what else did? Oh, I did. So, so I'm still waiting for my Alithia wave.
Oh wow.
Let me get you back on here. Hold on. Exit solo. Let's do this. Let's do this look. So I'm still waiting for my Alithia, my big order. So I
Yeah.
got Bardrick in real early. Like I was the first one to have Bardrick in, and then my big order doesn't have an all in, so that one was kind of at the very tail end because it does have the big mount, like it does have the moose and stuff.
Yeah.
So I am still waiting for that, and I got a little impatient, and I was like, I need something, and I was like, what should I get? And I did not pre-order the horse. I did not pre-order Phobos, Olithia's
Oh yeah.
horse. It was like kind of back before the horses actually were in hand, and I was kind of like, I don't know, am I gonna go all in? Am I gonna get every single horse?
Yeah.
Which it turns out I am, but I didn't really know that back then, right? So I didn't order it, and so I was like, I'm gonna get something. So I ordered from Big Bad Toy Store. I ordered a Phobos, and that came in. I got a review up of that just the other day. Actually, just yesterday, I got the review up for that one. So,
Yeah, I saw your picture with the movie Realization Invader. That looked pretty
oh
sweet.
yeah, I got that still set up here. It
Yeah, that's
matches
like
well, like the
perfect.
purple. Yeah, it's
Yeah, the highlights.
But
Yeah, the
it's a
cape
pretty
looks
sweet.
good
I
even
think
on it.
this is gonna be it. I mean, I'm gonna get a Lithia and I'll put her on it, but I think
Yeah,
eventually, like on my shelf, this is what's gonna be there. Let me put it back.
yeah. Oh, it's reason to get another one.
Yeah, right. I was gonna just long ago I had planned to get it, and I was gonna wait till Legion's Con, but I was like, I need to get something. I need to get some reviews up and do
Yeah.
something on the channel. So yeah, and yeah. I mean, those are pretty much the highlights for me. I got a couple like vintage collection things in. Like I finally got
Um,
the Dark Times Vader in, which is nice. It's a really good one.
yeah. I feel like I got something in recently from that, but I drawing a blank. I can't remember what it was. It was probably like 2 weeks ago, and I just yeah.
I know. What's his name? Axe Woves. That wave has been starting to ship, and
Oh,
then
okay.
the Walmart exclusives where they had like the Bespin guards, like a couple variants of the Bespin guards.
Oh yeah, I remember that now. Yeah.
One or two other figures in like a wave of exclusives there. But let's check in with the chat. Let's see, we got Braku. What's up, man? Braku's here. Nate Strong is in the house. Nate, check it out. Repping
Nice.
Legion's Lounge. Julie's here. Intro. The intro hits so hard. Yeah, almost 200. 197, almost 200. Mike's a bit low, Bill. Okay, let me turn this up. Let me know if that's too loud, anybody. I'm just tuned into the volumes. So who said Nate? Mike's low. Nate, let me know if that sounds better. Braku likes the music. I've been using it in the shorts. I've been doing a lot of short form videos on YouTube just because I haven't had a lot to review and I haven't had a lot of time to do the longer reviews and stuff. So I've been doing a lot of little quick shorts. And I like to weave in a little Slayer, a little different metal stuff
Nice.
going on there. Yeah, Death Dealer would look good on that horse for sure. Absolutely. Hopefully so Death Dealer it had like a, I don't know, like a summer release window most recently. Like I think July to September was the most recent one. And then they bumped it, but they didn't move it that far. It's now like November, December, or October to December, I think it is now. So I feel like that's maybe on the water.
Might actually come out.
If they're only bumping it like
Yeah, I would hope so.
A couple months. Let's see what else is going on. Hedgehog, Jonathan, what's going on, man? I saw. What did you review recently? You did the Tyrus Flare. Yeah, good review, man. Okay, Julie says the mic sounds good. What's up, Julie? Michael Woods, howdy, y'all. Drinking in the dark. I'm actually not drinking in the dark, but I am drinking a dark beer. It's called Warlock.
Nice.
It's from the company that does the Pumpkin, the really like pumpkin pie tasting beer, but this is a pumpkin imperial stout.
Nice. Yeah, hope you're doing good with the hurricane there.
Yeah, so you're in the hurricane, Michael? Are you in Florida? Where are you at, man? My mom's down there. I'm like really worried about her.
Oh, really?
Puerto Rico.
Oh.
All right. So let's see. I think we made it through the chat here, and nobody else with any recent pickups. Oh, Super 7. First wave of Super 7 Silverhawks pre-order. Fingers crossed. Okay.
Yeah. Where was it? There was some. I missed the comment. Someone was talking about the paint.
Okay.
There we go, Steve. Yeah, he finally showed off the Silverhawks paint. It's kind of like a pearlescent gray, or silver, which I think most people were expecting.
Right.
Not like silver, strikingly silver. But.
You know what I've seen a couple reviews of the Battle Armor He-Man Masterverse figure, the new Eternia Battle Armor He-Man, and like it looks like a flat very light gray. It just does not
Mhm.
look good to me. I don't know if it's different in hand, but it does not look like it has any metallic whatsoever. I don't know. I was kind of thinking I might get it, but I don't think I'm gonna unless somebody comes out with some better pictures. But
Mhm.
between Daytona and Orlando, okay, yeah. So that like just hit you like probably today, right? Because that's like the wow, yeah. Stay safe, man. Stay safe, Michael.
Yeah.
My mom's in Tampa, and she called me the other day, and she's like, "I'm driving down to because originally it was gonna hit right at Tampa." She's like, "I'm
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah. I
drive
remember.
down to Fort Myers to my friend's house who has a basement because
Oof.
she lives in one of those like mobile home type communities, right?" And luckily she didn't go because it moved in
Yeah.
like dead center on Fort Myers. So she stayed in Tampa, and the bag got like sucked out. It seems to always get sucked out like when they have the hurricanes hitting on that side.
Yes. Interesting pictures. I saw that.
Yeah. But she said she didn't have too much damage and that she just has still power out, so hopefully she'll be all right. Um, yeah, it's crazy, right? Like the Origins figures have the awesome shiny vac metal armor, and then the Masterverse has like this very flat gray. Let's see. The variant Mezco Batman, the classic, like Golden Age Batman. That's charging soon, I guess.
Yeah, the black one. That's nice.
Yeah, nice.
I saw Big Bag Toy Store put that up for order too. If anyone missed that, I was looking for it.
Oh yeah. Yep. All right, just a couple more comments and then we'll get on with it. All right, Bill, do you have this Artemis yet? I don't, but I should soon. Like that's in my big order, and I did order 2 of those. So, yeah, the new Artemis I will hopefully have very soon. I'm super pumped because now that like it's like the opposite this time. Like now that everybody's got stuff in hand, I'm having like not FOMO, but like I'm super anxious to get my figures because
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
kind of like the last one, you know. Hey, Nate's in the house. What's up, dude? Raku says it's the best figure in the wave.
Yeah, I'll have to check
I
it
don't
out.
doubt it.
I have one on order from Big Bad, but I haven't shipped anything yet. Yeah.
All right, so let's let us get into the news. So put the subscribe banner up there for now. So we're getting into the news here. There's kind of a lot, so we might move a little quickly through some things, but we do have a giveaway today. Let me put this down again for 1 second. We're gonna give away a Vetus today. I have an extra, and I decided that that's what I want to give away today. So we're gonna be giving that away probably right after the very sparse Legions news. Just one thing really for me, and that is there's a book coming out. I don't know how many people have
Wow.
like kind of paid attention to this, but Jeremy, who runs all of the social media and the all the marketing, and he does the website, right? Like, and he writes all these articles and things, and he did this great one about Castle Silverhorn and some really good lore articles going on. And he dropped in there that this is basically an excerpt from, lo and behold, a book that's going to be coming out. That is Mythic Legion's Rise of the Dark Four, Volume 1. I wonder how many volumes there's going to be.
Yeah.
But Rise of the Dark Four, he was talking about this on his show on Mythic Customs, Mythic Conversations.
Mm-hmm.
And he was saying how essentially the Rise of the Dark Four is the first arc that we've been going through in the collection. Like as these waves have been coming out, it's been slowly like solidifying into this story about the 4 horsemen, and we have these final of the 4 horsemen waves coming up soon. And really, the sort of start of that was the what was it called? The Covenant of Shadows, where all of them got together and started summoning the Dark Four. Like that old wave, Covenant of Shadows, kind of was the beginning of this big story. And so, so like all of this lore is going to be put into this compendium style book. It says that we have adapted this text for the purpose of this article, but this is pretty much a little sneak peek. If you read this article, a sneak peek at what's going to be in the big book. So it'll be interesting to see. Like they really haven't said anything else. They've just kind of confirmed that yes, that they're doing a book. I think Jeremy is writing it, and he's taking,
Really?
Eric's, like all his lore and putting it, like compiling it all together in the book.
That's really interesting. Yeah, I didn't. Like the game was like to me almost too like I was like, wow, they're really putting a game together for it, and then like a book too. It's
Yeah,
a whole giant property now.
right. And the game, it really blew me away how big the game is and how legit and large that game is going to be.
Yeah,
It's going to be very cool.
it should be fun.
Okay,
I
so
got the
that's
iPhone version of that just so I know I would play it on in bed or something like that.
right. Yeah, totally. Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's really it for Mythic Legions stuff. I do like to at least mention something about it every episode, since this has pretty much become almost fully a Mythic Legions channel, podcast notwithstanding. But
Yeah, I think I guess the only other thing I saw too is that the Legion's Con's officially sold out. I think.
oh yeah, yeah,
Everyone
yeah.
can
That's
go
yeah.
or get tickets.
That did happen. I think yesterday or today. That is sold out now. I did hear some people mention that it was sold out and then they were still able to get a ticket. Like, so there might be some cancellation. I don't know how that works, like how they're squeezing more in, but like some people were able to still get tickets. Somebody offered me the opportunity to go to be there like +1 at the intern for a day. But I just can't.
Wow.
I can't go because I can't get 2 days of work off. Like being a teacher,
Yeah.
it's like it's really hard. Like I am taking that Friday off, and I was able to do that. But 2 days in a row off, especially a weekend that has a holiday very shortly after that Tuesday.
It's true. Yeah.
Like it's really tough. You get a ton of days off as a teacher, you just don't really get to pick them.
Yeah.
Now, if we could get the art. Oh my God, a Nate Barch Art of Mythic Legions book would be
that'd be pretty sweet.
Stellar. That'd be so awesome. But yeah, so that's the Legions news, and as usual, our big thank yous: Brick Something, Scott Baker, Hedgehog, Brockhu, Dave, Laura. Laura, sorry, I saw your comment earlier. Yeah, Larry's not here. Larry's wedding is this weekend. And he's just like super busy planning the wedding. So Larry couldn't make it again. But yeah, so he'll be back soon enough.
Yeah, it's an exciting weekend for him.
Yeah, it's gonna be so awesome. And again, thank you all for the super chats, the donations. Because of you, we are giving away a Vetus today. And let's pull this down. Giving away a Vetus right here. Brand new Vetus. I have an extra. I bought a couple of them when I pre-ordered them, so I have that in hand. And I'm gonna open it up. Like I'm not gonna limit it. I know there's not that many international people, and the chances of it hitting are slim. But if it does hit and it's an international person, screw it. I'll ship it internationally.
Nice.
I feel like we're at the point where like, the donations have been generous enough that like I can pay whatever it takes through that to get it overseas if need be. So we don't even have to do that little like disclaimer anymore. If we do a big one, like if I give away something large, I may change it back for like 1 week.
Case by case basis.
Yeah, exactly. Like if we give away like a hot toy or like, something big like that.
If we're giving away hot toys, I feel like things are going to be a lot different.
Right. Yeah. I guess if we can afford to give away a hot toy, we can afford to ship a hot toy overseas. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let me get this thing going. All right. Start collecting comments. And the banner, the hashtag is Vetus. All right.
Plain
so I'm going to be watching. Yeah. Very simple. I couldn't come up with anything clever. Mercurian, and then it's like, okay, maybe somebody misspells the longer word and whatever. Just keep it simple. Yeah, congrats to Larry. Absolutely. Congrats to Larry. He's got a great catch. She's very supportive of his collecting. Like not like beyond supportive, like very enabling and like
right. Yeah, I know.
Watch the spelling, folks. I saw Vitus with an A. Vitus. I pronounce it Vitus, but they've confirmed it's Vitus. Maybe it's
Oh,
Vitus.
yeah.
It's not Vitus.
U.S. either way. So
Steve, Maxwell, Scarlett. See, I like doing these because you
Joe,
can
you
kind
got
of
to
get a
re-enter.
you, you can see some names you don't normally see, right? Like this really gets people commenting. Let's see how many are we up to here. 23.
It's always like a
While
little
you're,
over half. It's like I don't know. Like if you're in the chat, just put it in there.
I know, why not?
If you're watching us, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm curious why. Yeah. Thanks for watching, Rick.
Hedgehog is just messing with us here
Yeah,
at this point. I can't wait to see all these people. There's a
us.
lot of people in here. Nate, Hedgehog. There's a lot of people that are going to be at Legions Con, which is just about, I think, 5 weeks away now. It's just over a month away.
Yeah, that'll be pretty sweet. I mean, yeah, it would be a lot of fun. Yeah, to meet because what is the code to like 5 or 6 the con, so then you can like hang out, get dinner, chill out with people.
Yeah, like Saturday night's going to be a lot of fun. And I'll be down there. So because I was able to get that Friday off, I'll be around Friday night too. Originally, I was going to leave like after work and kind of get there late, but I decided I just wanted to have a little bit of a relaxed day.
Yeah, driving through New York and everything on a Friday, like evening does not sound fun. Like
Yeah, I'm gonna
getting
try
out
to
there in the day.
leave. Yeah, I'm gonna try to leave like right after morning rush hour. Just take
Yeah.
my time and get down there. And I think the GCon stuff will be going on. I can kind of listen to that. Maybe pull over once or twice to sort of like look at all the stuff as I'm driving. But yeah.
Oh yeah, that's when they'll actually do the reveals. That's right.
The
I keep forgetting
Friday,
this.
yeah, they'll do all the reveals. And that's for those of you who might not know, that's Friday, November 4th, and that'll be the next big Mythic Legions thing. That'll be the big Necronominus wave, the fourth and final wave of the big Horseman waves. So Michael Woods is flying in Friday afternoon, so we'll probably get there around the same time. Hedgehog, same thing, Friday to Sunday. Me too, man. And I'm staying at the same hotel as the event.
Oh,
So
nice.
I will be around. So for people who are staying at that hotel, hit me up and we'll get in touch.
One year I got to get out there.
Yeah, I mean, time it for like visiting some family out in Jersey.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Usually, I don't know if I'm going to get out there this year, but usually I'll go early December because going over Christmas, like I did that the first couple of years I moved out here, but then it just gets to be like spending like $600 and I have to stay there 8 days because if it's any closer it's around Christmas, it's like going to be 700 or 800 and like so.
Yeah,
going earlier in the month, especially because it's me and my wife now, not just me. That helps save.
Right. All right, so we're gonna give it another minute. Just a reminder, we're giving away Vatus, and the hashtag is Vitus. All right,
Bill, do you know the answer to this question?
How long after do they usually put up the pre-orders for the reveals? So the last year. Last year it was roughly the same time. It was the first or second week in November. It was right before Legions Con, and it ran not just the usually it's a month, but this one ran past Christmas. Like it ran, I think, until I don't remember, like maybe like New Year's Day or something like that. It was right past Christmas, so that people had a chance to get through the holiday before having to place their order, and then obviously like some people might have a little bit more after the holidays, right? So
do they put it up like that weekend? Like, do they start the pre-order or is it like after?
Oh, it'll start that night. Usually they do the reveals, like it's like maybe a couple hours or something like that, right? And they reveal all of them, and like right at the end of all the reveals, right when they reveal the last one, it's usually the last one's usually like a big deal. Yeah, that's when they launched the
kick it off.
Yep, nice. The pre-orders. So it should be November 4th through, I'm guessing, I mean, at the earliest, it'll be November 1st, 4th through early December, but I'm thinking it'll be end of December. So like almost 2 full months on this one is my guess. Yeah, I'm kind of in the same way. Like I'm not purchasing Edgardo, purchasing really anything. I'm trying not to, unless like pre-orders come in and whatnot. But it is going to be expensive. It really is. It's going to be awesomely expensive in all the best ways, like you say.
Yeah, I saw the floor plan and I was like, yeah, it's a lot. It's definitely a lot bigger than last time. Like just the tables and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, somebody put up the comparison in the Cabal, and it was like when I first saw it, I didn't really think of last year's. I didn't really have it in my head,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, oh, okay, maybe this is the same. Maybe it's roughly the same. It looks kind of the same setup, but then I saw the comparison side by side, and it's just like so many more vendors, tables, and stuff.
Yeah, that'll be exciting.
Okay, here we go. Let me put this. Oh, I gotta share my screen. Hang on a second. 1 second. Share screen. Chrome tab. Giveaway. And okay. Here we go, everybody. We're gonna give away the Vetus in 3, 2, 1. Spin. Let's see what we got here. Edgardo.
Oh,
Hey, Rick Jones, who misspelled it at first. He had the typo.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. Congratulations,
Congrats,
Rick
Rick.
Jones. Vetus coming at you, man. So just message me if it's easier to message me on like Instagram or Facebook. Do so. If not, then just send an email to podcast@dorklair.com and send me your address, and I will get this Vetus out to you probably tomorrow or Saturday. Congratulations, Rick. Okay, let's pull this down. Pop this back up. And yeah, let's kind of dive into all this news. There's kind of a lot of things on here because it's been 2 weeks. And I actually sort of had stuff planned out for last week, and I just couldn't swing it. So yeah, so some stuff spilled over from last week. But first of all, we have not MezcoCon, RumbleCon. We have RumbleCon,
Yeah.
which is interesting because typically this time of year they do a New York Comic Con thing. They do like a MezcoCon tied to New York Comic Con, or maybe the week after. And this is like straight up all Rumble Society. It's all like Slugfest, Gomez. It's all Rumble Society stuff. And this is the first. I'm kind of thinking we're going to see a couple releases during this thing, but this is the sort of the event exclusive, I guess. Union Gomez. He's a plumber. No, he's a welder.
Like a welder.
Yeah, like an arc welder type guy. And yeah, he's got like overalls and whatnot. He's got a bunch of tools, and he's got a toolbox version of Boom Boom with some welding tools and whatnot. So pretty cool. I really like this. But going back to what I already forgot who said it, what we were talking about earlier, I'm locking the wallet on this one. I want it. Maybe I'll get it eventually in trade or something like that. Like I might be on the hunt for it down the road. But for now, I'm passing on this one.
Yeah, same. I just was like, it doesn't. I mean, it's neat. It's something I know. Like I'll just pose and not really do much with. I mean, put a lot of effort in. He's got how many? 14 different gloved hands, which is kind of neat. Like it's it's cool. The new boombox and everything, but I don't know. Needs a weapon for me.
Thanks, Bill and Chris, for the great content and providing a chill place to chat about toys. Braku, $5 super chat, dude. Thanks you
Braku.
So much.
Really
always contributing, man. So Rick, thank Braku for your figure today.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. We try. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I might as well leave that up for a little bit. So my one thing about this figure is it's like a lot of parts fun. Like this is going to be a lot of fun for
Hmm.
swapping those overalls onto other figures. That jacket is so cool.
Yeah.
Obviously the hard hat, like the helmet and the hard hat, the mask and the hard hat are specific to Gomez, but like that outfit in particular and like the gloved hands and all that stuff, like that body is going to be so much fun for head swaps and kit bashing. That's why I want it. But again, it's just like there's so much happening right now, and like as far as surprises, we have no clue like what kinds of surprises might be like right around the corner. So
Yeah.
thanks again, Braku. Hey Eric, what's up, dude? Glad you made it. Last time, didn't you show up like literally as we were like saying goodbye last time, I think, Eric? I'm part of a union, but I'm passing. Hey, I'm part of a union and I'm passing too. I'm part of the teachers union.
I do like the local 112. That's a good, nice
Yeah, that's
little
nice.
gag.
Nice touch. Um, and there was a T-shirt. So if you look at I don't have a picture of the shirt, but if you look at the stand, it's the
Mm.
same picture that was on the T-shirt. Sort of like a union logo for this like fictional union. Um, it did sell out. So they did that thing where they had initial in stock amount that sold out fairly quickly for like, recent stuff.
Lately, yeah.
It was like about an hour, I think, maybe an hour and a half. And then they went back out with a pre-order. Although the pre-order is like quick. It says I think October to December or maybe November to January. So it's not too long of a wait. I mean, these are produced. So I'm assuming that pre-order could sell out too because these are already made. They must be if they're coming, within a couple months. So
Well, that's interesting. I didn't even bother checking it after that. I didn't realize it went to pre-order. But
yeah. Yep. So that gives everybody a shot at it. Because I think, like lately these things haven't been selling out, at least not that quickly. They've been lasting a day or two. And
yeah,
I think maybe some people got caught off guard a little bit with it selling out. So it's nice to see that they opened it back up. Maybe it's still like at the tail end of production and they can add a little bit more to it or something like that. But
yeah, or it's 2 shipments or something because they did charge full in stock before,
oh
the
yeah, that's
first
true.
one.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, so there's that stuff, and then moving into some Hasbro. Excuse me for 1 second. Moving into some Hasbro stuff. It feels crazy, but we actually haven't talked about this yet. I think this
Yeah,
this went up the day after we recorded last time.
that's
I'm
right.
pretty
Yeah,
sure it was like the next day. So this is the Haslab Ghost Rider and Car, which has really been the subject of a lot of conversation, a lot of, I think I want to say like a lot of heated debate. I saw like people
yeah.
getting really passionate about this thing, but it's a $350 car. It's quite expensive, regardless of like whether or not it's something people should buy or whether or not you think that Hasbro is just being complete a-holes about this thing. It's expensive, 350.
Yeah.
It's cool as hell though. I think like it's a sweet looking car.
It's probably bigger than I'm imagining too. Like, because I, haven't seen it in person I mean, outside of just their
Yeah.
streams and photos.
Mm,
Because I was trying to compare or think about the size of that compared to the Razor Crest, because that was also 350.
right.
But seemed like in my head the Razor Crest seems bigger, but then I forgot. This is a 1/12 scale, so this is probably fairly close.
It's going to be pretty big, yeah.
Yeah.
Footprint wise, for sure. And then so their initial thing was they were going to have an exclusive Robbie Reyes figure if it cleared if it cleared the 9,000 backers it needed to get funded within the first how many days? 1 week, or I forget how long it was.
I want to say it went from it ended on a Friday, whenever it was. So it was either, so
that
it must have been Friday to Friday. Yeah.
Yeah. And it didn't even get close to doing that. So this didn't happen. This figure didn't happen. But just today, and I think it was as they started seeing the number tick backwards,
Yeah.
they said, "All right, we got to do something." And here's my take on this: like, is Robbie Reyes really? And I'm not like that really knowledgeable when it comes to Ghost Rider lore, but
Yeah.
like,
Same.
is this character really enough to push it? It's a head swap of the same body, right? Like, this is so
He just
now they're
repainted
adding the
legs.
head in the the hoodie or whatever, just that collar piece. And you're gonna in this image here is the figure that it's this figure here with the Robbie Reyes head on it. So this was just a repaint of that same figure. Is that really exciting enough to like get this thing to fund within the first week or whatever? And then yeah, so now this is the new kit in the main thing, which is you added that head and that collar piece.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I mean, a good point. I mean, I'm glad they added it back in. A lot of people said, well, if you don't have the Robbie Reyes, then like the regular car look really doesn't goes like you're going to have the flames and the tires on,
right,
the flaming crap on it the entire time. Otherwise, because outside of people just using it for a cool car for 12 scale stuff, which I'm sure people will do that too. But yeah, at least it gives purpose for as the Ghost Rider, and Robbie
right,
Reyes
that's true.
driving around in a cool car.
um, the other thing about that is, I think if this was a more appealing price, like if this was, I think if this was like 200 or 250, like if this was less than the Hiss tank,
Yeah.
I think you would have seen a lot of like Mezco collectors and just collectors in general buying it because like this thing. Do I have a picture of it just as the car? I don't really. I mean, there it is. Like, do I? Wait, do I? Yeah. So like
Yeah.
this thing right here, like that doesn't even need to be Ghost Rider's car. Like that could just be an awesome car for
Yeah, totally.
photography and like all sorts of fun stuff. But at 350, I don't think it's an awesome car for that. You need to really want every little extra little bit that they're going to throw in this thing with the tiers and stuff to make that even close to being worthwhile because it's so much money.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm not very familiar at all with, like you said, Ghost Rider, and I didn't know this character either personally,
Right.
total at all. So I was just like, all right, there's like zero chance I'm gonna get it unless there's some
Right.
like ridiculous other things. But I also heard too when it didn't clear for the Robbie Reyes, they're like, we're not going to reveal anything else yet besides the Mephisto that you showed there.
Yeah. So we'll get to that in a second. And my like one other comment is like, I will say this: if it was something I really really wanted and it was overpriced like this, like and it felt like overpriced, I'd probably still be that kind of sucker that bought it. Like I would buy this if I was like that into Ghost Rider and the Spirit of
Yeah.
Vengeance car, whatever. I think the car has another name. I'm not sure what it is, but if I was that into it, like I would probably overpay for it just because I would want it that bad. And that's the thing. It's like sometimes the the desire to get something is kind of outweighs the logic of pricing. And
Yeah.
I think
I
that's what
had
a lot of people are getting into with all the arguments and debates about this thing is like people are talking past each other, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I backed the Rancor, and I understood that's probably not,
Same.
exactly worth that price. But no, I was like, I want a giant ass Rancor, so it's
Right.
limited
Yeah.
options.
It was the same. Yeah. Same thing with me. Got very similar situation. I think another thing is this is a fall crowdfunding thing. The crowdfunding
Yeah,
things that happen during con season, post San Diego Comic Con, into the fall season. I think it's the con season that really dooms some of these things. They tend to struggle in the fall. And then things in like before San Diego, like if you recall, that his tank was pre San Diego Comic Con. I think it started in June,
yeah, yeah.
right?
I remember that now. Yeah.
Like so and that thing like cruised like super fast. There's been other things like I remember the um the McFarlane Spawn Kickstarter. Like
Oh
that
yeah,
was
yeah.
in the
That blew everything
springtime
away.
and that was nuts, right? Like I just think companies should really consider like just holding off until springtime for these things.
Yeah, I mean, outside of like we want to deliver it in this time period, and that's when our factories have time.
Right.
Yeah, which I understand, but it's like you have to take more into account of like, yeah, what people are
Yeah.
spending. Everything after this. Like last year, they had like three in a row or something. That when the Rancor failed, and then like it's like, yeah, we people can't be dropping 350 or two. Even that like the Sky Striker was what 250, I think. So it's still
Yep.
a boatload.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they'll figure it out. But hopefully, this is year two of them doing that. So
Oh, okay. The Hell Charger is what it was. And it's a Charger. It's a Dodge Charger, so that causes licensing issues with Dodge. Yep, that makes sense. So is
yeah,
this any car fans out there? Is this a Charger or is this like does this look nothing like a Charger? I'm not even really sure. To me, it
I
looks like a
have.
Charger.
Yeah, and I think if it was like literally licensed and was a good model charger, that adds those model car guys into it too. With
Oh
it
yeah,
being unlicensed, yeah, I think that knocks it down a little bit.
right.
I don't know what the license would be. Probably be a $400 thing then.
So this is a good question. Will Savage Crucible Kickstarter take the con season into consideration? And I'm not sure. I mean, I know that he's a pretty shrewd guy, and I think he might if he's sort of aware of that kind of situation. um, but I know also at the same time, the longer the longer he holds off on the Kickstarter, the shorter the delivery window. He's already tooled this stuff and or is
Oh,
already in tooling. So that one's a different kind of a beast, I think, because he's he's not he's not waiting until the Kickstarter to kick things off to start production. He's still just continuing it as if he already did the Kickstarter, and he's just gonna do the Kickstarter when it makes the most sense for him in terms of prototypes. And so I think it could be a little different in terms of backers, because knowing that the window is that short, I think it changes the game completely. If he says we're going to have this Kickstarter in the first, he said he's going to have wave one, wave two, wave three that you order during the Kickstarter, and wave one is going to be a very quick turnaround. So it might feel more like a regular pre-order in that situation. So I'm not sure, but it's a good question. Like, at this point, does it make sense just to wait till spring?
hmm.
Nate says it looks like a Charger to him. Has elements of an actual Charger, but not exact. The grill looks similar to a 68, but the tail looks more like a 69. So a little bit of like a Hasbro take on a Charger kind of thing.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, Eternia is another big one. I think that's going to be a crowdfunded thing,
What
and
is
it's going to
that?
be expensive. So there's a big Masters of the Universe Origins Eternia playset
Oh,
that
oh, okay.
that they showed at San Diego, maybe, and I think they said it's going to be a crowdfunder thing.
Oh yeah, let's see
Amalgam
that
is a
then.
good word for that. Yeah. So I think it's meant to be the same model charger as the General Lee. This is an approximation of that, I guess, to avoid licensing fees from Dodge. Yeah, of course. Which is funny because then they turn around and they're making. We're going to talk about the Nikes in a second. But yeah, so 12. This thing, I can't. I don't. The fact that this thing stalled at about like 5,000-6,000 and it needs 9,000 to fund, I don't know if it's going to hit Mephisto here, if it even gets funded. But 12,000 for Mephisto.
Yeah, I was wondering if that was like the original, if that was the whatever the bait for the quick kickstart, if it would have funded, but they're going to release
Yeah,
this anyway. Like that's
yeah,
kind of the problem with like all these teases. Like the same thing with the Rancor. They showed that Jedi Luke, and then like, oh well, they're going to release that anyway. They're not going to just
yeah.
sit and design something like that and not put
Which
it out.
I think they did, right? Didn't they put that
Yeah,
Luke out or something very
I
similar?
think I don't know if it's out, but I know it went. It was on order at least. Yeah.
Um, all right, let's see here. Okay, so still Hasbro, and we have the D&D figures that kind of, I feel like those weren't really teased,
Nah,
and then
yeah,
they
these
just
are
were
out of
up for
nowhere.
pre-order.
Yeah.
um, but yeah, so we have the D&D cartoon figures: Hank, Bobby the unicorn, Diana, Venger and Dungeon Master, and they have dice. And
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I was wondering why there's no. Let's see. So okay, so this is the one that has the tens 10-sider. You can see the 70 on the 10-sider, but there's no other one that has the singles 10-sider, right? There's an 8-sider, a 12-sider, a 20, another 20, and then the 10-sider, and there's no single. But then somebody pointed out there's more figures. Like there's more figures. These are the Target exclusives, and apparently there might be some Walmart exclusives. And yeah, so that kind of makes sense. I was like, why is there no 10-sider? But these are like fairly standard Hasbro figure prices these days for like 6-inch scale figures. Of course, these are kids, so they're going to be smaller, I assume. But this is probably, I think Venger, he'll be like full size, and that's a 2-pack. It's technically $50. So.
It's me. Like I forgot that like NECA is doing. Aren't there D figures the cartoon base? So that's just interesting. That Hasbro licensed it, and they're like, yeah, we're going to do our own too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I feel like these are like faithful to the cartoon, and then I feel like the NECA ones are more like homages, like highly detailed homages to the toys.
Okay. Yeah.
I think I was not. It's funny because I was into Dungeons and Dragons, but I was not really into the show as a kid. I didn't play D&D as a kid. I didn't play D&D until pretty much my college years. I played a little bit in high school, but like I didn't play regularly, like with a regular group until like college. So this stuff was all just like ancient history to me by the time I started playing D&D. Wave 2 should have Presto, Eric, and Sheila. Cool. Okay. And kind of continuing with the 80s theme here, we have Boss Fight Studio, which is funny because Hedgehog just mentioned them. So when he said it would have been cool if they had been hacks, I can't find his comment now, but he had mentioned in the comments, it would have been cool if they had been Vitruvian hacks. It was because so Eric Aranya, I think it was, who's runs Boss Fight. He had shared a tweet of like the Hasbro image that was like a promo image, and it had those on there, and like just like for a minute, Jonathan was like, "Oh my God, are they making hacks?" And he thought it was a teaser for Boss Fight, but Eric was just saying, hey, check it out. Finally, they're making some D&D cartoon figures.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And it would have been really cool if they were hacks, actually. I agree. So speaking of Boss Fight, we have the Fraggle Rock line, I guess. So Fraggle Rock line. And this is one figure that they're doing as like an early preview to the first wave. And so just this one doozer is going to release, I think, in early 23. And then Gobo, Red, and Uncle Traveling Matt are going to be the other 3 figures in this wave, but those won't come out until later on in the year. So that's the first, those 4 are the first wave. It's just that this particular one is going to be very early in the thing. And they said that their goal is to be super, super screen accurate and really faithful to it. And I mean, I got to say, like, do I have another picture? Oh, I just have the one picture. I got to say, this does look very faithful.
Yeah. It totally looks like it walked off the screen there.
Right.
Got the texture right.
Yep.
Felt or whatever they made the puppets out of. So it's really,
they used to eat like the crystals that
the
users made.
Yeah.
I loved that show as a kid. I haven't watched it since then, so I couldn't really quote it for you, except for like the trash heap has spoken. But it's been a long time. Yeah,
Andrew, that's one I want to check out again.
It wasn't Eric. It was Andrew. Okay. Okay, and then we have the starting lineup, action figure line. I think a lot of people were a little shook by the price at $50 per figure from a Hasbro figure. Like to me, if these don't feel like figure arts or something, if they don't have like a more premium feel, like that's a tough sell at $50. Yeah. But there's a lot of stuff going on here, right? They have the Nikes. That's going to cost some money. And I mean, these are digital renders. the digital renders look good, but who knows what they're gonna look like in hand? Like they need to have they need to not have that plasticky thing that
Yeah,
Hasbro tends to have if they're gonna be $50.
yeah,
Comes with a
especially because
stand.
they're all bare arms and leg in their face,
Yeah.
But they are, and they're all like the shoes are all unique. Like so, it's not just Nike. Like if a guy who's wears one of the some of the other guys I looked through, if they're wearing Under Armour shoes or something, like they have Under Armour shoes.
Okay.
So
Yeah. So multiple
they got
licenses.
everything licensed, the right way. Which I'm glad they are doing that. So, but yeah, $50. Because I'm not really a basketball guy, but I'm I'd get some baseball players or NFL players. So
Yeah. Similar
I'll
for me.
I'll have to be a little more picky and choosy, I
I might get
guess.
some legacy basketball players
Yeah,
or something, but I don't like I honestly can't name more than like two guys here. It's like I can't like
yeah.
I haven't watched basketball since I had the Celtics channel, which I
Oh,
haven't had since I canceled cable like 10-15 years ago. So
wow.
I just don't like I don't really listen. Basketball is not one I can listen to. I can listen to baseball all day, but I can't listen to basketball. It
Yeah,
doesn't do it for me. So it comes with a trading card, like a premium, like a trading card,
yeah,
like a nice trading card, and then it comes with an NFT. So there's value there for people who are into that stuff. But if you're just into the figure, it feels like a tough sell at $50. Unless it turns out that these things are kind of like figure arts, like they are like that awesome. Where
yeah,
like the uniform really almost looks like it's a different material than the arms and
yeah,
stuff. Like
yeah. That's a good point.
like then maybe it's worth it, but we'll see.
It comes with a stand. There's
Yeah.
$5 of that. Something like for their
Yeah, there's a
Hasbro
little
stands.
value in there, but
Yeah,
not $50.
I'm just excited they are doing something like totally different. And yeah, I am excited to see what the other sports look like. So get some bats and stuff. I am looking forward to that.
The NFT thing made me cringe. I mean, like environmental impact aside, uh like it does feel like just this sort of bandwagon thing where like the pandemic was raging, NFTs were like hot, everybody was like collecting
Yeah,
NFTs and they were worth a ton of money, and like Hasbro planned this during that era, right? Like during 2020, late 2020. And then like if they had planned it right now, I feel like it would have been a different thing.
yeah,
um that's true. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. If it's sold, so Michael Wood says these are expensive, but if it's sold at a Stamium, it'll be cheaper. It'll feel cheaper. Um, Laura says I haven't watched basketball since my grandma hogged the one TV and I didn't have a choice. I remember I had grand, a great aunt, a great aunt. So somebody who would have been my great grandmother's age, who I never knew my great grandmother, but I had a very old, like a 80, 90-year-old aunt back when I was a little kid who loved wrestling, who was like really into like
That's
WWF, like
hilarious.
big time. It was crazy.
That's funny.
I would drive down to Philly like family trips and stuff, and Mem, her name was Mem for Mem, and she would watch wrestling all the time.
Pretty cool.
Hedgehog, I love basketball, and I'm still very unsure about these figures. Yeah, it's a tough sell. It's a tough sell, but if they turn out awesome, if they become highly collectible, which is I think a thing that needs to happen for a sports memorabilia type thing. It can't just be like it needs to be a bit of a collectible type thing, and not just a toy line. Who knows what'll happen with it?
Yeah. I went to a toy, a comic, toy shop recently, and they still had like sports figures from the 90s, and like
Mm.
everything had like yellowed bubbles, and I'm like, nobody's buying these things. You guys just get rid of them. Just get
Yeah,
rid of them.
yeah. I mean that's nostalgia for you though. Like those people like probably have the same kind of nostalgia for those that we have for
Yeah,
like the Power of the Force 2.
that's true.
um, Okay, let me see here. Yeah, so there. What is that? Eight players, eight different players. And again, LeBron, Jason Tatum, and then a bunch of other guys that I'm sure are massive stars that I don't even know. I'm slightly embarrassed, you know.
Hmm.
Laura's like, "What's an NFT?" Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't even know what one is really. Um, okay, next up we have the collaboration between Acid Rain and Super Seven. So Acid Rain is making some Super Seven brand characters from the worst, the worst brand or whatever.
Hmm.
And like Super Seven's doing their Ultimates version of the worst figures. I'm sure they will do Cortex Commander at some point, but this is 1/18th scale. These are straight up Acid Rain figures. Like these are Acid Rain figures, and they're doing them just with the styling and the look of this character from Super Seven. I think it's brilliant. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
totally not something I expected, at all. Like, cause yeah, I just, I know of Acid Rain, but I never really thought of them in Super Seven, like, really in the same sense for the most part. So that's
right.
kind of neat. I wonder how that happened. If who reached out to the other, or what.
This
Um,
has a very designer con vibe kind of like
yeah,
thing to
yeah,
it, like
that's
I
true.
could see both of them at designer con having the next character or a new variant of this, which is, there's this wave, I guess, is three variants of the Cortex Commander, and
Mm,
then you have two troopers. So so the ones that are being sold directly from super7.com are the beige, greenish Cortex Commander, and you can see he's in the bottom middle with the tie, and he doesn't have the helmet on, right? Like, so that's the Cortex Commander, and then you have Cortex Troopers, with the same head but with the helmet on. One's a flame trooper and one's an artillery guy or something like that. And then you have two more of the main Cortex Commander. You have the white version and the black version. They feel more regal because they have those, like, I don't know, the gold accents stand out more on these than they do on this one to me.
yeah.
Um, and those two are being sold from piaclub.com, which is, I think, like a company that's like closely, I don't know if it's owned by I forget what the company is that is Acid Rain, but I don't know if it's like owned by them or if it's like, just somebody that they do dealings with a lot, but that's overseas. And so, like, it's going to be a little cheaper to get the three of these than it's going to be to get these two because you're shipping these two overseas.
Oh, yeah.
So, so weird to see Super 7 characters going the other way and being made by someone else. Yeah. Yeah, it's usually the flip, right? Super 7's usually making other people's characters.
Yeah.
Um Hasbro's doing it too, right? Like
Yeah, that's
Mezco's
true.
making Hasbro characters and
Super Seven's making Hasbro figures, so yeah, everyone.
right, yeah.
Hasbro's like, have at it.
Right. I'm there if they make a version of this character in ultimate scale. Yeah, I mean they will. It won't
Yeah,
look
it's
like this.
coming.
It's not gonna have the. It's not gonna have the armored. Um, I don't think
Just
it's
the
gonna
Acid
look
Rain
like
look.
the Acid Rain body. Like it's gonna look like the Super Seven version of the character, but it'll have that brain in a jar head thing. They will definitely make it. Here we go. Here's a nice little explanation of an NFT. A digital asset that links ownership to unique physical or digital items. There you go. Okay. So next up, we have the SH Figuarts Far From Home Spider Man. I guess this is like the main suit from that movie, right? And
Yeah,
this just
yeah.
went up today, maybe. This just went up. Larry sent this over to me.
Nice.
Um, yeah, so we got a new Spider Man, and I think they solicited the other two.
Yeah, the other two have been on pre-order for a bit.
Okay, yeah, so that kind of completes the completes the three from the movie, which is actually I really like that movie. It's not like mind blowing, but it was really just like a
Yeah,
fun
it's a
movie.
good movie to watch. You're not gonna like hate the movie at all.
Right. There's
I'd be
nothing, yeah,
surprised
nothing
if anyone doesn't
controversial.
have a good time with it. You know.
Yeah. Hedgehog with the $5. Dude, Mezco, the worst figures would be fire. Imagine Captain Dead Star. Is it Dead Star or Dread Star? Dead Star? Um, yeah, that would be sick. That would be sick. I am very excited though for the Ultimates.
Yeah, I wonder if they're gonna have anything at New York Comic Con coming up, either just for show or whatever
They're due. They're
production.
due. I know that the first wave's on the water because I'm
Oh,
very
okay, cool.
excited for that, and I kind of keep track, and like I'll check that website once in a while, and the
Yeah,
last I saw, the first wave is on the water, so the first it's two. I think they've been doing two at a time. Um, the first one's on the water, and usually that's around when they solicit the third wave, right? They kind of wait for this one to be
yeah.
hitting, and then they do the next one, or they do the third one. So I'm hoping soon because you know what? I did a survey. I don't know. Did anybody else do the survey? I got a survey
I did
email,
that. Yeah.
and I have a nice little 15% coupon that I'm like, my goal was to save it for
Hmm.
the Ultimates worst figures, and it's burning a hole in my pocket now that these acid rain ones are out because I think I
That's
may
true.
get the acid rain ones. I'm not sure yet though.
Yeah, I was gonna pick up some bodega stuff, but I did not go through with that yet. But yeah, that was got that 15% offer too.
Any other time of year, and I would already have ordered all five of the acid rain ones. But it's just everything is there's so much stuff right now that
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
super picky right now. Um, let's see. Okay, so Laura was wondering about like actually what happens when you get this figure in hand. Like, how do you get the NFT? You tap the figure to the chip in your brain, and it transfers to your head. No, it'll be a digital code, and you'll have to like. I think you'll probably have to have an account on some sort of NFT app or something like that, or like service. I'm not sure, but yeah,
I don't know why they don't
you'll
just say like. I mean, I can only assume 'cause, Panini has a digital trading card thing because doesn't everyone like? Why not just be like, yeah, you get a digital card like that's
right. Yeah,
tradable
and
or whatever.
I know like Tops was doing at least for Garbage Pail Kids, maybe there was one thing that they were doing
Yeah, I know they did at least
NFT
one of those. Yeah.
like actual NFTs like the Star Wars card trader and the Marvel card trader, like those were just like this encapsulated thing. Well, not they weren't like they weren't NFTs, but I think the Garbage Pail Kids were.
Yeah, I did. I just because I was getting back into it. Yeah, I know they did at least one like that for one set.
Okay. Next up we have this one's I feel like a little bit older now, but the movie realization Daimyo Boba Fett that when it went up, we were slightly wondering if it would come with that throne, that beautiful throne they had on display, but definitely does not come with the throne. But
Mm.
it does look pretty awesome.
Yeah, looks pretty accurate, and because it's not just it. Like I thought some people say it was a repaint, but I don't think it is. Right? Like of like is the are the armor bits? I don't know if you took any close look at that,
So, actually, hang on.
but
So, let's see. Let me get back to that first one, right? That close up. So, yeah, I think it's mostly a repaint. I
oh,
think
it is okay.
they're, like the belt, right, with all those bullets is different.
Yeah,
Um, I think the legs are almost completely new, but the torso, the shoulder armor. Hold on. Yeah, the shoulder armor, the torso, the helmet. Um, is the jetpack different? Where's the jetpack? Jetpack
looks
might be
kind
the
of different.
same. It's
Okay.
let me show the color, of course. I don't know if
Yeah,
people remember, but the original Boba, the color was wild. Let me put myself up here. Um, Like it's a very minty kind of green, you
Yeah,
know?
like teal-ish.
Yeah. Yeah, like a teal. And like so you get the torso, the helmet, the shoulder armor, I think the jetpack,
Oh yeah, I
you
see
know,
that
it's just
now.
all very different colors, of course. And so like the new one,
Hey, everyone.
I removed myself. Sorry.
Yeah.
The new one, um, I feel like it has like the essence of Boba Fett in terms of color,
Yeah,
even
yeah,
though it's the
definitely.
bright like repainted sort of thing. Like it has that essence. It does look it does look awesome.
Yeah.
125 on Big Bad, and I
I
don't
like
know
that.
like
I mean,
other
that's a cool
sites.
weapon.
Yeah, that is really neat.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
they're very pricey now. Like I when I was getting the originals, they were all like, maybe 75, $80 for the when the I
yeah.
mean that line came out like 7 years ago now, I think, something. It seems so long.
So did
Um
this figure, like 3/4
yeah.
of it,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
I know. Yeah, so that was like, and that was pricey at the time, but now it's like 125 for just one of them. It is a bit tough for me right now.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I'll probably get it, but I'm not in a rush to pre-order it right now.
yeah, yeah.
Speaking of Boba Fett armor, we got the Hot Toys Cobb Vanth, which I was kind of excited for because I do have a Mandalorian armor focus in my Hot Toys collection. But I don't know, like the price for one, $300 is high to me. It's like really high compared. I feel like it's a new bump. It's like a new jump in price. Like what makes this 300? And then I'm not particularly fond of the head sculpt. I think it's the
I don't think
expression.
maybe, yeah. I don't think it's that bad, but and I guess it just, yeah. It is,
It's
yeah, it's a slight expression in the open mouth. They do a lot of like the open mouth, like they're just about to speak or something like that type of thing. But yeah,
yeah,
300 is like, because I think the DX Obi-Wan was like 295. So you're like, why is this more than that? But
right.
I don't
This
know.
is Go ahead, finish your
No,
thought.
yeah, I was just gonna say I was looking forward to this too. It's one of like the last, like I'm like almost all in on season 1 and 2 Mando Hot Toys. So this is
Yep.
definitely one I want to get. But I feel like I've been burned in the last like year and a half with all the like the Hot Toys that are sitting around and getting like 20 and 30% off or
Right.
something.
Yep.
So I'm like holding off on pre-ordering things, even if I like really want it, which I do with this, but and just see what
Right.
happens.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. Like it happened for me with the 2 pack, with
Yeah.
the Boba Fett 2 pack with the like the robed one and the
Hmm.
one that has this same armor, which is an awesome 2 pack and it's I am glad to pre-order it and pay the full price, but it does sting when literally like the day after it gets in hand, I see that there's a coupon for it for 20% off or whatever the heck it was, or 15% off or something.
Yeah, and like
Um,
15% off at that rate is a significant amount.
right. When it's a
Yeah, when it's
$500
like,
pack, it's a
yeah.
lot of money. But yeah, same thing. Like I want this. And then they added this photo later. I think this
Oh,
is
okay.
Photoshop, but they added this later and they're saying that you can remove the stuff and like have him essentially have the look of, how he basically like in the Book of Boba Fett, like he doesn't have the
Oh,
armor
yeah,
anymore,
yeah.
right? Like, so you kind of recreate that a little bit. But again, back to the likeness, it's one of those ones. It seems like people are very split. Like some people are like, man, that is a very accurate look, and then to me, it's like I don't really recognize Timothy Oliphant. Really, it's like and somebody pointed out it's probably the facial expression. Like he usually has a little smirk thing going on. There's something about the way they posed the
Yeah.
not posed it, but like the way they took that particular moment of an expression. It's kind of weird.
Well, another thing too that happens with some figures with when people have goatees or beards, like they have to give it that some volume, even though in reality it's probably not much. It it adds a little bit. Like the Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan for Hot Toys has a little bit of that, where it's just like it adds to, it's just weird. It makes them look slightly off because it's, instead of it just looking like hair, it's looking like their face is a little
Right.
something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. It could be. Yeah. And that's it. That was the last one.
Oof. Yeah, it's a good week. A lot of good
A
2
lot of
weeks, I
stuff.
guess, of
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
And I think I say this every damn week, and I apologize, Laura. I apologize. But I'm hoping to come back to it next week because I feel like with the Mezco con stuff, and who knows what other surprises might be
PulseCon.
coming. Yeah, the PulseCon stuff, right? Like, is there a schedule for that? Is there like a schedule of announcements
Yeah,
for
they have
PulseCon?
they have a schedule of their
Okay.
they're not streams because they're in person, but whatever, panels.
Okay.
I'm very
And that's
excited for
like
the
Friday,
15-minute
Saturday.
Indiana Jones panel.
That's right. Yeah.
Saturday, Sunday, I think,
Okay.
are the
Saturday, Sunday.
panels. Yeah, and if we do it next Thursday, the first day of New York Comic Con would have happened. Also, I don't know if
Okay.
anyone will really be there because Hasbro just had their PulseCon. Mezco's not going.
Right.
Sideshow may be there, so maybe they'll have
We
one.
could maybe see Storm stuff. Although they're not with Bluefin anymore, right?
Yeah, that's going to be interesting because Big Bad doesn't go anywhere to show stuff. So hopefully,
Right.
I would like Storm to have a real presence, but I'm not sure.
Maybe they'll be in like the Diamond booth. Like you know how like the Diamond booth always is like
Yeah,
tons of other random things in
random.
there.
Yeah, like everything because they distribute almost everything, so they
Yeah.
kind of can show everything. Yeah, that's true. There'll be maybe some things there.
Yeah. So I mean, it would be nice. I think we're gonna see some. Yeah, we're gonna see some surprises this weekend, and I think we should try again. Yeah, Laura says we won't hold our breath. I'm sorry. It's tough. It's the beginning of the school year. It's tough for me to like, it can be tough for me. But I'm feeling like that next week is more likely than not to happen. There's just going to be a lot of stuff going on over the next few weeks. So, yeah. Oh, so thought PulseCon is Friday, Saturday, maybe not. That's tomorrow. Jeez, already the weekend. Alrighty, folks.
I was wrong. September 30th and October 1st. Sorry, guys.
Okay, yeah, there you go. So it is, Friday, Saturday. So I'll sneak onto my computer here and there during the day and see what I can see.
That's what I'm looking for, Rick. Need some
Indiana
more
Jones.
indie.
Yeah.
But it's literally a 15-minute panel. That's what I wasn't kidding. Like they're like 3:30 to 3:45. I'm like, you couldn't stretch this out a little?
Do they have like? Are they all lined up? Like
yeah, they have the times and everything. So yeah, to find it or something.
So is there one at like 3:15 to 3:30, and then another one at like 3:45 to?
The next
4?
one is the Star Wars one. Yeah, Braku said. So yeah, it's like right after that.
Okay, yeah, that's okay. So it's sort of like one event, and they're just going boom, 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 boom through all the things.
For the most part.
I honestly like that's good because they tend to have like slow, dragged out kinds of live streams. They don't really. Yeah. They need work. Not that not that we're like the, I'm not one to criticize like, but they're a large company. I feel like they could rein it in a little bit more with their live streams.
Yeah.
Thank you, Laura. All right, folks. Well, next time we see you, it will be October, and spooky season. Getting it. Any Halloween costumes? Chris, you got a Halloween costume yet?
We're gonna do something, but we don't know what yet. We always dress up. But
I gotta utilize this long hair for a costume at some point. I gotta
find something.
All right, everybody. So we'll try to be on next Thursday. Stay tuned for Legion's Lounge. Legion's Lounge might also go up again on Monday. I'm not sure. So yeah, Legion's Lounge been cranking on those as well. But thank you so much for joining. Thank you everybody for the super chats and contributing. Congrats again to Rick. Was it Rick Jones?
Rick Jones.
Rick. Let me hit me up. You probably already emailed me. I'll get back to you. And until next time, may the force be with you.